listening to The Rundown with Desmond Johnson.
Like to have everybody's attention for a moment.
There's a stat. I don't like bringing up stats, but there's one stat about the Panthers.
He's more of James Harden better scorer than Michael Jordan.
No, he's more creative in that.
Traveling is not creative, Brandon.
No matter what the score is, and they've said it themselves, whether they're up 10, down 20, whatever, they know they can turn it on whenever.
Why did you have to bring up the Cowboys in this conversation?
Lived in Texas for 2 years and just could not stand to watch Cowboys football.
All right, listen up.
Welcome to The Rundown. Here's Desmond Johnson.
And welcome to a Saturday supersized edition of The Rundown. I am your host, Desmond Johnson, here on location at Zesto's Burgers and Ice Cream here at 2600 New Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem, our new Saturday morning home, coming to you live from the Trefo. Got my man Rod Funderburk and my man Brandon Blakeney in the house. You can actually hit us up on social media at Sports Carolina 1 if you want to comment on anything during the show. Also follow us on Facebook.com/The Rundown with Desmond Johnson. That's all one word, The Rundown with Desmond Johnson. And you can actually hear this live on our Facebook feed right now on the Sports Carolina Monthly Facebook feed. You can hear this show live as we transmit out, or you can just go to our website, bestsportstalkshow.com, and you can actually comment there on anything you're hearing during the show. Today, we're on a supersized rundown today, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Got to apologize for starting a couple minutes behind, but no worries as we're getting set up at a new location. Guys, what's going on, man, on this frigid but sunny Saturday?
Hey, man, I'm feeling good, live and healthy. It's fight night coming up. It's a big day, fellas.
We're going to talk about that fight today, too. Rod, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Dez and Brandon and Triad? Hope everybody is doing well. It is a beautiful but crisp Saturday morning. It was very cold this morning, everybody. It was 26 degrees. So make sure you got your blankets and all that stuff as you get ready for the fight and get ready for this Saturday full of games. We got Baylor, Kansas coming up today, which is going to be a barn burner, I think. So can't wait for that to happen, and ready to get the rundown rolling, baby.
So we got a lot to get to this Saturday. As Brandon mentioned, Wilder versus Fury 2. The NFL making huge changes that we're going to talk about. Are the Duke Blue Devils a safe pick in March after their 20-point beatdown at PNC Arena to NC State earlier this week? Also, the inaugural edition of the Sports Carolina Monthly High School Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Haviland Express Lube over in Kernersville. We'll announce our first inaugural winner of that award here in the second hour. Plus, in Barbershop Talk today, if you could have dinner with 3 athletes of your choice, past, present, dead, or alive, who would they be? And much, much more. Welcome to the best live weekend sports talk show in the Triad. Again, this is The Rundown. I'm your host, Desmond Johnson, joined by Rod Funderburk and Brandon Blakeney. Let's get into some NFL talk first, guys. The NFL owners have passed, and we'll be presenting a new collective bargaining agreement to the NFL Players Association this upcoming week. There are a number of items in the new CBA that are kind of eye-raising, and I pulled out some of them. Among them, the elimination of any game suspensions strictly for positive marijuana testing, a reduction in the number of players subjected to testing for marijuana, gambling definitions that ensure players receive a portion of gambling revenue brought into the league in the future, alterations to training camp, an introduction to a 5-day acclimation period, a limit of 16 days in pads. They also are proposing going to a game day roster of 48 instead of 46, adding 2 people to the overall roster to make it 55 instead of 53. Teams can bring back 3 players from injured reserve each season. And then what I thought was some of the more critical aspects of this, it would allow the league to expand the regular season from 16 games to 17 at some point in the next 4 years, although no sooner than 2021, so not this upcoming season, but the next season would be the first year they could do that, in exchange for financial and other concessions the players have sought in negotiations. And also, the second part that I thought was huge, sources are saying that starting in 2020, which would be next season, the playoff field will be expanded to 7 teams from each conference instead of 6, with only 1 team from each conference receiving a first-round bye, as opposed to the 2 that currently do. Guys, which one of those items stands out to you the most upon hearing the proposed changes? It's past the NFL owners. The NFL Players Union has to vote on this. Now, I did see it only takes a simple majority for them to pass something like this. They have to call it to a vote first. They haven't done that yet. I think they were trying to do it yesterday, and they didn't get it in time. What are your thoughts on some of these items that would be kind of changing the game the way we know it, really?
Definitely.
I mean, one of the biggest items that I think, and there's probably 2 of them together, and I believe it's America's most confusing vices. And that number one is gambling. Gambling, getting an opportunity to share in the profits. You know, in other sports, people get in trouble for gambling. They did not, aka Pete Rose, did not get an opportunity to share anything for gambling.
Facts.
And then on the other side of that, the second part that I think is pretty cool, that's another vice that America has, but it's a debatable vice because some people say it's a natural vice as opposed to a processed vice, and that is the whole testing for marijuana vice, which a lot of players have said, hey, you know, due to the pain that football causes, the hardship on your body, you know, they'd rather do something that is not dependent, such as an opioid, which is processed. They'd rather do something natural that's grown in the ground or grown, you know, in the backyard or grown wherever it's grown in a greenhouse, and be able to handle their pain that way. So, you know, like I said, America's vices, you know, those are the two things that stick out to me, the vices that are involved in football. And then, of course, with those vices, you have the Las Vegas Raiders, who will be joining this season this year in full effect in Vegas, and that is Vice City. Need I say any more?
And the draft is in Vegas. I don't know who thought of that. That's going to be very, very interesting, a very good time. I would piggyback off Rod. I think that the marijuana thing should have been done long ago. Especially, I mean, we have so many cities with with teams, with franchises that have legalized it in those particular states. Guys, we keep hearing every day opioid crisis, opioid epidemic. Now we finally see the NFL reacting and doing something about it, showing that they care about these guys' mental and physical. So happy to see it. I want to look at the other rule change proposal with adding 2 players. I think especially in playoff time, that could be really big for people. Provides a little flexibility, especially for guys like Taysom Hill that can play multiple positions. You can add that Swiss Army knife now, and it won't really cost you giving up any depth.
For me, I'm looking at like 17 games is an odd number. So I'm wondering what happens with that because it's going to make it unfair for half the league, because half the league, if they do home and away the way they normally do it, some teams are going to get 9 home games and some teams are going to get 8 home games. I've heard some different things over the week in terms of like why not have an international game every week, so every team plays an international game, so it's like a neutral game type thing. I've heard like playing at college stadiums, so you could do like Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh at Penn State, or you could do like my mind's going blank. You could do like Carolina versus Atlanta at Clemson or something like that.
I mean, I don't think with stadiums like that, I don't think that's a bad idea. Some of those college stadiums are holding twice as much as NFL stadiums.
But even when you speak about college ball, I mean, or just about football in general, if you start talking about college ball, colleges don't have an even number of home games and away games. I'm a season ticket holder for the Carolina Tar Heels, and I don't get the same number of season tickets every year, and it's not even. Usually we pay about 11 games, and there's no way you can make 11 games even. You know, I'll have one year, I'll have 6 games, the next year I'll have 5 games at home. You know, it's football. You know, to me, granted, when the fans have an opportunity to see their guys play in the city, then hey, come out and to the game. And the team has to take advantage of having that opportunity to play at home when it's time to play. Then to me that will be a push to win your home games, because that's when it's needed. You need to win those home games.
Definitely. I think they're looking out for the players, and like you said, they're getting some of that gambling revenue now too. That's just another bag that's secured, the way I'm looking at it.
What are you guys thinking about the playoff structure? Because what'll happen now, like if this playoff structure was in place this past season, Kansas City may not even made it to the Super Bowl, because there's only the number 1 seed to get a bye going forward, and it'd be 3 wildcard games on Saturday, 3 wildcard games on Sunday. And San Francisco was the 1 seed in the NFC. Kansas City was the 2 in the AFC, so they would have played an extra game to get to the Super Bowl.
True.
Do you think that's fair? Or, I mean, because it's almost like the 2 seed can almost coast in the way the 1 seed does at the end of the regular season, because they're going to get a bye all the way up until the championship round in their conference. But will this add more importance to the 1 seed, or how do you think that's going to affect them in the end?
Des, let me ask you a question to make sure I'm understanding the way the structure is. Weren't they going to was it an 8-man or a 9-man playoff team, or 9 team? 17.
No, 7
So yeah, they're going to add. Yeah, so they're going to add one team for each conference. So it'll be 7 teams instead of 6 on both sides.
Okay, so it'll be 17. So it'll be a total of 14 teams in the playoffs.
Right.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, me personally, I'll be honest with you. I don't have an issue as a fan with that because I love football. You're talking about an extra wild card game in January. I'm going to be loving that. I'm going to be cooking extra dip.
All weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna be cooking extra dip, maybe a few extra chicken wings, maybe an extra few French martinis. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be enjoying every last bit of that extra playoff game on the weekend. But that's just me because I'm a fan and I'm a football junkie.
Definitely.
Now, on the other side, I can understand some of the players may be saying, hey, we worked hard this season. We're a number 2 seed or we're the best seed out of our conference, so we need, a bye as well. I can understand those teams saying that, but that also gives you another incentive to play extra hard in those 17 games and allows the fans to take advantage of seeing their teams not take a week off. Because if you take a week off, guess what? When the playoffs come, you may not have that bye where you can sit and have a week to heal.
Very true, and I'll tell you what, fellas. Fantasy fans around the nation are rejoicing right now because if we are not sitting players, playoff football and fantasy's in full effect. I don't know about you guys, but I've lost several chances at championships due to that, so I'm hype about that.
I was going to bring that up. The fantasy football get an extra week, yeah, so that would be there too. It's going to kind of affect stats, records, because you're getting an extra game. Just like it did when they went from 12 to 14 and from 14 to 16. I don't know how I feel about an odd number. I was always thinking 18-game season if they went up to like another 2 and then give them an extra bye week. So each team has 2 bye weeks just spread out through the year.
Right.
But I kind of like the idea of the international thing because they're already sending, it feels like half the league to London or Mexico or whatever to play a game anyway. If they made it like that where usually you get a bye after you go overseas anyway, so you would kind of, if they could bake in a second bye, then I think I'd be okay with it. But, it's not like it's really our decision. It's going to happen either way. So I'm still like, well, it might be all right. No, it's going to probably go down either way. So
now the question is, will the NFL players actually vote to carry this out? What do you guys think? Will that happen?
Well, I don't know because, right now the money's good. The money's good coming in. And
well, they'll make $1 billion over 10 years, correct?
I think they're asking for an extra percentage point to go from 46 to 47% of the revenue.
Yeah, I think it's like 47 and a half. Now, my question is this. Are the owners obligated to tell them exactly what their revenue is? I guess they would be, huh?
I think that was one of the issues.
Because the owners' revenue is going to go up tremendously. So even if you're getting 46 right now and you're going to get 47 and a half, are you getting 47 and a half off of what? The revenue that you know about right now? Or does that include this increased revenue that the NFL owners will receive? Because that's why they voted for it. Because the NFL owners are going to get a heck of a revenue increase.
I want to say that sounds so familiar from the last time they were doing the CBA, because I want to say something like the players were like, we don't even know exactly how much money's coming in, so we don't know what kind of cut of the pie we're supposed to get back. Mm-hmm. And if anything, to me watching this with the NFL and the CBA, it makes me appreciate more how powerful the NBA players union is,
right?
Because they've got the strongest union, maybe baseball, maybe.
I don't know, man. The NBA gets stuff done.
The guys like LeBron and Chris Paul, those guys are kind of
Irving, that over. New VP now.
They're like the players in the NBA. They get an obscene amount of the revenue. Like I think it's over 50%.
Yeah. The NBA is a little more progressive than the NFL. Definitely, and what I mean by that, there's an older mentality that runs the NFL. The NFL has, they've both been around a while, but you're talking about a serious good old boy network where they're only allow who they want to allow in there.
As we've seen.
And as you know, there have been no minority owners that I know of in the NFL. As a matter of fact, the ones who could have come in there have been voted out or voted down. So you're talking about an old way of thinking in the NFL. So there's going to be a lot of issues before there's going to be a progressiveness in the NFL as compared to the NBA.
Oh, agreed. Definitely a lot more culture going on in the NBA. Love how they're moving. But I think we will see a minority owner in the NFL one day. I just think that's taking a little. Yeah, I think so.
Have to be like Oprah or somebody.
It's definitely not going to be Jay-Z.
Yeah, no, because they got to spend. I think the least valuable franchise is still like $3 billion, $2 billion, something like that. And put that comparison, I think the Hornets just got valued at $2.1 billion. Michael Jordan bought them for like I think $750 million or something a couple of years back. So that's if you want to become like a baller, that's the kind of way it goes on a team. And even if you suck, it'll just appreciate out value-wise for it. So I think in the end they'll get something put together and they'll be fine. And we're talking about millionaires versus billionaires. They'll be fine. I did think it was interesting to think about them dropping the marijuana stuff too because. Who's the guy? Who's the wide receiver the Patriots kept picking up?
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon.
And I know he's like,
I
know he's looking around like, bro,
I just messed up my whole career. And
well, I want my game. I want my checks from them games. Like,
I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest with you guys. Though I'm not so sure if Josh Gordon was having issues with something other than marijuana as well.
That could be too. We never really found out exactly what it was. We knew he failed a marijuana test.
Right, and we know he had. And we know he had alcohol issues.
And he had a little something else, I think, maybe in the drug test that they were worried about.
Yeah, because he failed it when he went to Seattle. And we all know Seattle is an open city where
it's legal.
Yeah, it's completely legal. So we knew that was a bad idea for him going to Seattle.
Well, maybe he gets another shot to, make it happen.
I mean, he's a talented
Or did
guy,
they,
man.
banish him? They didn't banish him.
No, he's not.
He's been suspended like 3 times. So isn't there like a limit? I thought there was like a limit for the amount of times you could be suspended. And then you're just like gone.
I think there usually is, but in his case, he's not a problem guy like an Antonio Brown. He's more of a, hey guys, I do have a problem. He's that guy.
He's a stoner, not a head.
Yeah.
Tom Brady loved him. Tom Brady loved that kid.
They say he's a great teammate. They say he's a guy who gets along with everybody, but he just has addiction problems. They say he kind of has an addictive personality as well. When he likes you and he's for you, he's 100% in with you. The problem is, he's been having 100% in with substance abuse as well. So, no, I mean, I didn't mean it like that.
I don't want to laugh.
But
It was funny the way you said it.
Yeah, but I mean, no, I really don't mean it like that.
I'm sorry.
But, with having an addictive personality, that's how it goes. Whatever you're involved in, you're 150% in all the way. So with a guy like that, you can kind of like him and understand that he has a problem. So maybe you'll work with him a little more than someone like an Antonio Brown who's just a butt wipe. You know what I mean? I mean, he's just Antonio Brown says whatever he thinks. He thinks the world can't get along without him. The issue that Josh Gordon has is he's losing revenue.
Who gets back in the league first, Antonio Brown or Josh Gordon?
I take Josh Gordon.
I think Josh Gordon, but I think they're both very talented receivers that I hope to see both of them back in the league.
Antonio Brown's a rat. I think he burned too many bridges. Like it just you can insult one billionaire, I guess, but you start insulting multiple billionaires and like players and like it just I don't see if Colin Kaepernick can be blackballed for kneeling. I can't see Antonio Brown getting another job after he basically insulted the most powerful owner in the NFL, and Robert Kraft, talking about him coming out of the massage parlor and all that stuff. Robert Kraft ain't forgot none of that stuff, and he apologized for it.
He did. He apologized to Ben Roethlisberger, too.
Yeah, and he had issues with the Steelers, man.
They ain't listening to him.
No, did you hear what Mike Tomlin was said about his situation?
I think he said something like, once a Steeler, always a Steeler, but he was like, we're not in a situation right now where we want to even think about.
Yeah, he was basically saying we're not going back to that ship. We're not going to say anything bad about Antonio Brown. We love all our Steeler players, but he basically said that's it.
Yeah.
He was done. I mean, the owners aren't going back to that. The Hines owners, dude, they don't play that. They're serious.
No, and it stinks because AB is a great, tremendous talent when he's on his game.
Next, a little bit of barbershop talk. You are tuned into a supersized edition of The Rundown. I'm your host, Desmond Johnson. Rod Funderburk, Brandon Blakeney in the house live at Zesto Burgers and Wings. We got some Genuine playing in the background. Folks dining on ribs at noon this afternoon. I see them over in the corner. Might have to get some myself. But we're going to take a quick break, come back. If you could go to dinner with 3 athletes, past, present, alive, or dead, to join you for a foursome, who would you pick? We're going to do that next in Barbershop Talk, next on The Rundown.
You're listening to The Rundown with Desmond Johnson.
Havoline Express Lube of Kernersville. Their service facility is independently owned and operated by Mac Allen, providing full-service repair and maintenance services. They use the latest diagnostic equipment to guarantee your vehicle is repaired or serviced properly and in a timely fashion. Mack and his team pride themselves on commitment to the local community and providing value-driven service in an inviting, friendly environment. Go see Mack at Haviland Express Lube of Kernersville for all of your automotive maintenance needs.
The specials never stop at Blue Naples Pizza, an Italian restaurant. Every day you get a large 2-topping pizza for only $11.99. On Sunday, watch football and enjoy our large 1-topping pizza and 10 wings for only $17.99. Plus lunch specials every day of the week. Blue Naples Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 1519 Union Cross Road in Kernersville.
Zesto Burgers and Ice Cream is a modern-day American
because some people say it's a natural vice as opposed to a processed vice.
Quality food and ice cream since 1945. Located only minutes.
And that is the whole testing for marijuana vice. A lot of players have said, hey, dudes.
Wednesday, 50-cent bone-in wings. 100% fresh, never frozen Angus beef burgers, fried fish, steak, shrimp, chicken platters, and more. Delivery now available through Grubhub, Takeout Central, and DoorDash. Zesto Burgers and Ice Cream. 2600 New Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem. Ray's Body Shop and Wrecker Service has served Winston-Salem and surrounding areas for over 50 years. In addition to collision repair, Ray's also performs auto painting and towing. Using only the best quality products and materials, Ray's team of technicians is the best of the best. Family owned and operated, all of their work is guaranteed. When you find yourself in a bind, their 24-hour emergency towing and wrecker service is here to help. Call Ray's Body Shop and Wrecker Service today for a free estimate. 336-788-6174.
Are you looking for a new favorite spot to kick back and have a good time? Here at Kickback Jack's, you can watch all of your favorite sports teams with over 50 TVs. With delicious food, thirst-quenching brews, and non-stop entertainment, there's no comparison when it comes to the best sports bar in Greensboro. Grab lunch with the family, kick it with coworkers, or catch up with old friends. What are you waiting for? Visit Kickback Jack's, New Garden, today.
Back to the rundown with Desmond Johnson.
Welcome back to the rundown. Des, Rod, Brandon in the house, live from Zesto Burgers and Burgers and Ice Cream. I keep wanting to say burgers and wings. They do have wings here. They have ribs here. They have chicken wings. They got steak subs, burgers, all kinds of stuff. Shout out to the owner, Algernon Cash, for letting us set up here on Saturdays going forward here. And you can definitely check us out at bestsportstalkshow.com or listen to the live feed that's on right now on our Facebook at Sports Carolina Monthly. Little barbershop talk, guys. I've been wanting to do this topic a little bit for a while now. If you could choose 3 athletes, past, present, alive, or dead, to join you for a foursome, who would you pick? And I see Brandon hard at work over here on the side, so I'll let him go first with the first pick of the Sports Carolina Monthly Dead or Alive athlete draft.
Man, I was, because this is tough, man. This is tough, and I was thinking I wanted to get a group that would mesh well together too. Like, I want the chemistry to be good, so I went pretty diverse. First off, I would have Muhammad Ali. Oh, wow. Definitely got to have him in there. Pistol Pete, I think, would be dope too. So I'll have Pistol Pete, Muhammad Ali, then rounding it out, Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson, really?
Yeah.
What's up with
I love AI.
Really?
Yeah, he's my second favorite athlete. Well, I'd say second favorite basketball player, maybe second favorite athlete of all time.
Wow.
I love AI, man. He's an icon.
I was always, because they came out the same year, I was always in the Kobe Bryant camp. Like, I was never as big of an Allen Iverson fan.
I was AI.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that are AI fans. I never could really, I liked him. He was good.
Oh, man, I had answer. I had the question. I had all the shit.
You had the cornrows and stuff, too? You trying to get
man.
Big chains.
I'm talking about
throwback
the jersey.
jerseys.
I'm about to cross over. Don't even care about any other part of the game. I'm just trying to cross over.
What's up, Rod? Who would you take to your dinner? Past, present, or future?
I'm definitely
dead or alive.
I've got one person in agreement with Brandon there, and that is Muhammad Ali. I mean, he was such a icon socially as well as in the sports arena, because he came up during a time when things weren't so, kosher between, the races here in America during the Civil Rights era, during the Vietnam War.
He wasn't afraid to speak up.
Right, and he stuck up for what he believed in. And then he was such a top athlete as well that we saw today. But I would love to speak with him about the division and the people who may have been on his side before he decided to speak up, and then how they may not have been on his side after he spoke up, just to see the difference, and then to see it all come back around later on, and how everyone began to show him love, from the time he got back in the box until the time he lit the torch at the Olympics, to the time of his passing. So I would have loved to have a great conversation with Muhammad Ali. And then the second person is my main man who I idolized growing up in high school. This guy was number 56. He was a Tar Heel, and he was also a New York Giant. My man Lawrence Taylor, also known as LT. LT will put the pain on you. I modeled my high school football game after LT. I did things or I tried to do things that I thought LT would do. Didn't matter what the coach called on the sideline. But if I saw LT try something or do something, I was doing it that week in football. So LT was my man.
I was scared to death of Lawrence Taylor. I really was, because I was a Redskins fan as a little kid. I started out as a Redskins fan, and Lawrence Taylor was one of the few guys that I'd never met before, but just scared me to death on television by him running. I mean, it didn't look like he was running defensive plays. They were just like, all right, LT, you just go line up over there on the right side,
exactly,
and kill the quarterback. That's all you want me to do, coach? Just kill the quarterback.
And LT would make you think that he's off in position,
right?
Like he's not on the end. And the whole time he's planning on blitzing, so he's timing it where he's coming kind of in the middle of the field and walking up to the line and edging around the edge. And then all of a sudden he takes off when the ball is hyped.
The complete linebacker.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I tried to do the same thing in high school. I act like, oh, we're mixed up on the opposite ends, and then all of a sudden they snap the ball, and here I come, man. So LT was my man. He was my man. And then my third guy, I wanted to go with basketball guy, but I had a problem, Dez, and I know you're going to say I'm breaking the rules here, but I'm just going to say I had a problem of picking. I'm going to tell you which one I'm going to pick at the end, but I'd like to give you both the basketball players first.
Okay.
Number one was Michael Jordan. I'd say, heck, it'd be nice to have a sit down with Michael Jordan. But on the other side, there's somebody else I'd really love to talk to, and that would be Len Bias. And I think I'm going to pick Len Bias because there was so much that we could have learned, so many questions about Len Bias. He was a heck of a player. You remember he beat the Tar Heels all by himself. The Boston Celtics were going to draft him number one regardless. They didn't care if he did cocaine, mocaine, or Novocaine. They did not care. They were going to draft him. Yeah,
his first time even doing it.
So, and there were questions like that I would like to ask him, like, hey, what made you do it? How long were you really doing it? Because I'll be honest with you, man. They say it was his first time. I don't believe it was his first time.
I don't either.
Because in most cases, regardless of us doing something, we never take the biggest fallout our first time doing it. Which is what causes us to go back.
Well, he was with some guys that it wasn't their first time. It was guys from the team. And see, that was right around the time when I really I was old enough to start understanding basketball, because I was 85, 86. I'm 8 years old. So I'm starting to follow stuff. Like I started rooting for Carolina more. And I've told this story before. If Duke had won the 86 national championship, I might be sitting in front of you as a Duke fan right now, because I like that Duke team with Johnny Dawkins, Jay Billis, and Mark Allery, and all those guys. And I love Johnny Dawkins. So, following them go. And they never lost. They lost 1 or 2 games the whole year until they got to Louisville and Purvis Ellison. But them losing that game, then the next year I started following Carolina a little bit more. I was a Kenny Smith fan. Kenny Smith's probably the first Carolina player I can really kind of remember as a kid.
Okay.
So from that point on, so I was trying to figure out if I wanted somebody different, but I ended up with 3 basketball players. The first person that came to mind was Magic Johnson. Because he just seems like he'd be a great dinner companion. He just seems easy to talk to. He's done a whole lot in his life. He's basically had a second life after basketball and became an even more successful person in the business world than anyone expected him to. Add on the fact that, my gosh, when did he announce? 91?
It was either 91 or 92 when he announced the age.
So it's been, 30 years?
Because I remember all the jokes that came out. You remember?
I'm just saying.
You remember the joke where they used to say, what do you call Magic Johnson in the wheelchair?
No.
They were like Rolaids.
Oh, I do remember that.
You remember that joke?
I feel ashamed that I do remember that. But
Yeah, I remember. I mean, that was the first thing I remember because Leon Callahan told it to me, and I was like, "Really, Lee? Really, you got to tell me that?" But like you were saying,
he's healthier than any of us sitting here right now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but
like you say, something's. Oh man.
I mean, you got money. You can kind of
he living good.
He had it 15 years ago, drinking orange juice and all that good stuff.
But like you said, man, he's had a life after basketball, and he said that he went to Dr. Buss, who taught him how business actually works. He said if it hadn't have been for that relationship and him taking the time and Dr. Buss taking the time to sit down, show him exactly how business works, he said he might not be as successful as he is now, which is why I think he wants, well, another reason, not only that he played there, which is why he wants the Lakers to do so well and why he has such a relationship with the daughter, Jeannie. And that's all due to her dad, Dr. Buss.
Now, theaters, Burger Kings,
Starbucks,
the Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
You know.
I mean,
maybe he'll own an NFL team.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I thought he was kind of in the running to try to, who was it? Somebody, I think it was the Chargers. The people were saying the Chargers might sell, and he was in the running trying to get them to sell. I could see Magic as an NFL owner. I really could. That would be really interesting. But I'd have him on. LeBron James. Because it's the same type of thing where, like, these guys that didn't go to college, they fascinate me because they're, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're still intellectually, like, smart. Like, LeBron has a photographic memory.
Yeah, which is nuts.
You see the clip they put out, I think it was yesterday. It was him and Anthony Davis in the locker room, and they were interviewing him. And LeBron is going through the entire sequence of that last play of the All-Star game. And he remembered everything from the inbound, who caught it, who passed it here, what the other guys doing on the other side of the court. Boom, 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 all these passes, and then he remembered every single detail all the way down to him dishing it into Davis in the paint, and then he got fouled to send him to the line, and they won the All-Star game from the foul line. But he could recall it like 3-4 days later, every single part of it. And to me, I'm fascinated to be around somebody with a mind like that can remember those kind of things.
Yeah.
And LeBron's done a lot of stuff. Like, I mean,
definitely,
he's been in the spotlight since he was 14, and to be honest, he's never really come in short when it comes to the hype. Like, he literally has delivered every single level.
Or exceeded it.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that he would flop. And I remember this kid, I was watching some kind of sports thing, and somebody brought him up, and I totally forgot about him. But I remember he was big when we were in high school, Rod. Do you remember the name Shea Cotton?
I don't.
He was a basketball player in Los Angeles. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at age 15. He was basically LeBron before LeBron. I graduated in 96 from East Forsyth, and it was around that time, 95, 96. He was on the cover. Muscular, light-skinned dude, could dunk on anybody. Shoot. I mean, he was literally LeBron before him. And I think he went to college for like a year, came out. He was never a star in the NBA. He did play in the NBA, a couple of teams, and he went overseas or whatever. But LeBron never, I mean, he failed, but he never failed at expectations in terms of what he was supposed to be for his career.
Nah.
And now seeing what he's doing in terms of like branching out with his production company and making all these shows. I love Uninterrupted, the barbershop show he's got on HBO.
Yeah,
The Shop. I love that show because they have top-level guests. Like, they've had Diddy on there. They've had Will Smith on there. They've had Jimmy Iovine on there. Like, I mean, they've had all these high-end guys that have come through there, and you get to hear, like, what makes them tick, like, from all world sports, entertainment, like, everything. So I'd have LeBron, and then I think I'd have Kobe. I think I'd have Kobe there, too, because Kobe would be, like, the thing that kind of ties the conversation with Magic and LeBron together. And I'm just going to sit back at dinner with my steak and just...
So you having a Laker dinner, pretty much.
That's what it came down. Because I was like, I would have Michael Jordan, but it's like, I kind of know what he's going to say. He's going to probably be a little guarded because he's Michael Jordan. He don't really say a whole lot. Kobe seems like the type where he modeled himself after Jordan, but once you kind of break down his initial wall of defense, that he would become super talkative in terms of just like... From everything I've heard the past couple of weeks since he's passed, he asked a lot of questions to people, ordinary people, like, and people could never figure out, was it just him just trying to get out of a conversation, or was he genuinely interested in learning how did you fix that sink, or how did you park that car? I mean, just something random. He would ask these random questions about it, and really it was him absorbing info. Like, he was a sponge. So I respect that too. And he was doing the same thing LeBron The man won an Oscar.
Yeah, won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's
to me,
crazy.
that's kind of where that'd be Magic, LeBron, and
Actually,
Kobe.
I want to switch one of mine out for us. I've been over here thinking, and I feel a little bad because we all did it. I want to switch Pistol Pete out, and I'm gonna switch him out for Serena Williams.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Not Pistol Pete.
Yeah, I love Pistol Pete. Man. He's top 5 on my All NBA. Like I love Pistol Pete.
That's what we need to do.
And he's a
Top
Carolina
5 all
guy.
time.
But I feel like we gotta get some sisters in there. So I definitely think Serena Williams would be awesome to talk to her.
You just want Serena sitting at the table.
Hey man, I don't think Muhammad or AI is gonna be mad about it.
Good look, Brandon. Good look.
You know what
We don't
I'm
know what
saying?
to say to him. Good look. You can sit over on the side. Man. So that's good stuff. If you got nominees for who you would have for your the 3 in your dinner party of 4 athletes, past, present, future, dead or alive, you can actually go to bestsportstalkshow.com. You can hear the show live from there. And there's a chat box where you can actually go in and chat with us, ask us questions, tell us things about the show, tell us about things you like, tell us about things you don't like, and we can actually comment live on the air about it. So let's take another quick break, come back. One of the biggest heavyweight boxing matches in a while is tonight. We were talking about this before we went on the air. Heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder takes on linear champ Tyson Fury. For those of you asking what the hell is the linear champ and who is Deontay Wilder, we'll give you a boxing breakdown for dummies because I'm pretty sure Brandon actually follows boxing more so than I do. I don't know how much Rod's following it lately. Not like when we were
I
kids.
keep up with it, but not as much as I used to, like you said.
Because I need answers. I need to know, like, why is Tyson Fury the quote-unquote lineal champion? Like, what the hell is the lineal championship? And how many belts are there out there? And all this stuff. So we're going to do this kind of boxing for dummies segment here in just a second to get you prepped for the heavyweight title fight tonight. And then you can make a decision on whether or not you're going to buy it or not. Next on the Rundown.
You're listening to The Rundown with Desmond Johnson.
Zesto Burgers and Ice Cream is a modern-day American diner serving burgers, sandwiches, wings, ribs, other quality food, and ice cream since 1945. Located only minutes from East Forsyth at 2600 New Walkertown Road. Every Monday, 35-cent boneless wings, and every Wednesday, 50-cent bone-in wings. 100% fresh, never frozen Angus beef burgers, fried fish, steak, shrimp, chicken platters, and more. Delivery now available through Grubhub, Takeout Central, and DoorDash. Zesto Burgers and Ice Cream, 2600 New Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem.
The specials never stop at Blue Naples Pizza, an Italian restaurant. Every day you get a large 2-topping pizza for only $11.99. On Sunday, watch football and enjoy our large 1-topping pizza and 10 wings for only $17.99. Plus lunch specials every day of the week. Blue Naples Pizza, an Italian restaurant. 1519 Union Cross Road in Kernersville.
Abilene Express Lube of Kernersville. Their service facility is independently owned and operated by Mac Allen, providing full-service repair and maintenance services. They use the latest diagnostic equipment to guarantee your vehicle is repaired or serviced properly and in a timely fashion. Mac and his team pride themselves on commitment to the local community and providing value-driven service in an inviting, friendly environment. Go see Mac at Abilene Express Lube of Kernersville for all of your automotive maintenance needs.
Should be played at high volume.
Ray's Body Shop and Wrecker Service has served Winston-Salem and surrounding areas for over 50 years. In addition to collision repair, Ray's also performs auto painting and towing. Using only the best quality products and materials, Ray's team of technicians is the best of the best. Family owned and operated, all of their work is guaranteed. When you find yourself in a bind, their 24-hour emergency towing and wrecker service is here to help. Call Ray's Body Shop and Wrecker Service today for a free estimate. 336-788-6174. NetcastSports.com brings you live and on-demand sports from all over North Carolina. Available on every device, your phone, laptop, television, or tablet. No contracts, watch one game or every game without having to worry about greedy long-term subscription services. It's not magic, it's just giving people what they want. A way to watch sports anywhere without having to get locked in to another monthly payment. Netcast Sports is proud to be a partner with Sports Carolina Monthly and helping to bring today's broadcast to you.
Back to the Rundown with Desmond Johnson.
Rod, Brandon in the house here live at Zesto Burgers and Ice Cream, 2600 New Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem. Right around the corner from East Forsyth over here in the Jetway area of Winston-Salem, our new Saturday morning home. Definitely come over, check them out. They got some lunch specials going on. I can smell ribs cooking in the back right now. Steak subs, burgers, wings, you name it, they got it over here. We've had
it smells delicious.
Yeah, we've got people in and out already that've been in here eating for lunch. So definitely come check them out. Come by, say hey to us. Talk to us online at bestsportstalkshow.com. You can hear the show live there, and you can actually comment on the show itself while we are live on the air. This is a supersized rundown, meaning we are with you for another hour to 1 p.m. This Saturday. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back with a new rundown Monday at noon and Wednesday at noon per usual. The Friday show has just been moved to Saturdays going forward, so definitely check us out there. So we got this boxing match coming up here tonight on ESPN Plus, and I was trying to figure out if I was going to watch it or not, but the more I thought about it over the week, this is probably the most talked about heavyweight title fight that I can think of since maybe Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, 2002. Like, for start, what happened to the heavyweight division? I know the Klitschko's kind of like, I don't say they buried it, because Vladimir had it for like a decade or something like that. Cause who beat Vladimir Klitschko? Was it Fury? So Fury beat him. So
he beat the man.
So this is going to be boxing for dummies for those that have no idea what's going on in the world of boxing right now, but you maybe might be interested in the fight. I know that
he beat him when he was old, though.
Yeah, he got him at the very end.
Yeah.
But so explain, Brandon, can you explain to us what the linear championship is? Because Tyson Fury claims to be the lineal champ, or he is the lineal champ, or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like when it's been called the title of the man who beats the man, because Klitschko was the man for a while in boxing before Wilder came in 2015. So he had the championship for a while. Muhammad Ali has held that belt. I know we were speaking on him earlier, and it's pretty much when you are the champ. Then there's the WC world title. Well, Fury has that belt because, like you said, he beat Klitschko. And the WC world title is the World Boxing Council titles. There's multiple councils, and that's the title that Fury has held, or not Fury, excuse me, Wilder has held since 2015.
Okay, so wait. So when I was younger, and I used to follow about when was Mike Tyson, when it was unified, when it was like one champ, when Mike Tyson unified all the belts, and then it was like he lost to Buster Douglas, and then Buster Douglas lost it to Evander Holyfield, and I think Holyfield lost it to Lennox Lewis, and Rick Bozen or somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was at the time. I think there was three. There was the WBC, WBO, and
the WBO,
and the IBF, right?
And the IBF.
And
that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then I think somewhere after I stopped paying attention, they added a fourth one. And now, okay, so who owns the other belts? If Wilder is the WBC champ,
those are the only two that I'm super familiar with right now, to be honest with you.
I need to look this up.
Yeah,
I have no idea who they are.
I was about to say Wilder, and then those two are the biggest names right now in the heavyweight.
Does Fury have an actual physical belt?
He has a belt.
What belt is it? Like
the linear, I think the linear.
Wasn't it like one of the older?
I was about to say
that or something?
I think, and it switched over. I was about to say I think it was one of the older ones.
So okay, because the story I kind of kept an eye on, try to follow. You talked about it. So both these guys are undefeated. They went to a draw when they fought in the first matchup. Fury beat Klitschko for a title.
The linear, yeah.
But then didn't he have to give it up or something?
Well, he was gonna have to vacate it because he didn't defend it for a few years, and he was gonna retire, and apparently was strung out on blow and all types of
Tyson
stuff.
Fury?
Yeah.
Oh man.
He was gonna commit suicide. He was suicidal for a while.
Yeah, they partying over there in Britain.
Oh yeah.
He
seems like the type. See, I'm familiar with him now.
He's got a big personality.
He was just on a WWE pay-per-view. 5-6 months ago, and it was a good move for him because it put him in my spotlight where I was like, I kind of knew him, but I didn't really know him. This is a big dude, man. He's 6'5", 6'6", 270 something he weighed in.
He's a big dude, and he's nimble, man. He's really light on his feet.
And then I saw a little bit of the footage from the first fight where he was kind of taunting Wilder in the ring, sticking his tongue out at him and dancing around him.
Yeah.
Then I also saw Deontay Wilder put him on his ass twice, once in the 9th and once in the 12th, I think.
Yeah.
And the 12th round when he knocked him out, my man's arm, he was out knockout style like Friday. His arms flailed out. And he was on the ground for 5 seconds, during the count. And then all of a sudden, my man just raises up, and I come to find out that people started calling him the Undertaker.
That's what he looked like.
He rose up from the mat, at the count of 5 or whatever, got up before the end of the count because Wilder was losing the fight apparently up until he knocked him down, and that evened it out, and then they ended up calling a draw. So the story is set. Like, you know, neither one of them will beat the other. Wilder's got this, like, I've watched the way he fights like a street fighter.
Yeah, he's a brawler, man. He's got those heavy hands.
You just feel like he comes like overhand.
Did you guys see the press conference though? They've been going at it for a while, and I know Wilder was saying some wild stuff to my man, saying like he was strung out and he was a loser before he brought him here.
And Fury didn't really even respond back to it the way I thought he would.
And I feel like that kind of said it in the subconscious thing. Wilder sounded like he might have been right. The way he was.
I was wondering how much money they were going to make off of this, and I went to go look it up. So both Wilder and Fury are due $5 million apiece, but each are guaranteed at least $25 million plus shares of the pay-per-view profits. So by the time this is over, depending on how many people buy this, I mean, McGregor versus Mayweather was like one of the biggest boxing matches of all time in terms of pay-per-views. Right. And I don't want to give away my secrets, but I didn't pay for that one either. Like literally, if you have Facebook, you can literally get on Facebook and just go through the stream, and someone's going to be streaming it online. True. I just watched it right there. My wife's like, "What you doing?" I was like, I wasn't going to watch this, but somebody put this $80 fight up on Facebook. I'm just going to sit here and watch it until they turn it down. And they never did. Like, they never took it down. And, like, the one, oh, my God, for that one, the Mayfield, why do you call him Mayfield? The Mayweather-McGregor fight, somebody was streaming it, but this was brilliant. They were a DJ. So, like, you could see the fight, but it was also, like, it was in a club or something, so there's, like, strobe lights going on, and, like, it's, like, on a dance floor or something like that, but you can see the fight. And, like, he wasn't playing the audio from the fight. He just had the video up. Yeah. But he was playing a mixtape, like a mixtape he had put together or something, like a unsigned hype or whatever. Yeah. So he had that as the audio underneath the fight. So Facebook couldn't catch it because they catch it off of sound. Like you play something, the algorithm will catch it and dump you off, which is why we don't play copyrighted material on the rundown anymore. And
we never did.
We never did.
We follow the rules here.
And I was like, how's this dude staying on? And then I realized, he's using his own music and just turned it down. I'm probably giving away secrets that Facebook don't want anybody to know.
Facebook gonna shut us down.
Yeah, Facebook's gonna shut us down. But he went from like when I got on it, there was like 400 people watching his feed. Man, by the time that fight was over, he was up to like 500,000 on his stream. Yeah. Goodness. And so after a while, it turned into me not even looking at the fight. I was looking at his numbers just to see how high he could get before they shut it down. And they just kept climbing and climbing. He was like, yeah, thank y'all. Check out my mixtape and blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
and
you get that promo in there, young fella.
Get that promo in there like every 10 minutes. I was like, this dude is a genius. But he got to 500,000 streams on that. And like,
I'm mad at him.
I was like, wow, this is how I'm going to watch boxing from now on. Yeah. So I'm kind of, because I'm not like a regular fan. Like I don't follow who's the fourth ranked contender and that kind of stuff anymore. Like I don't know it because I don't know any of these dudes. But I've seen enough of Wilder and Fury, so I think we kind of make a prediction.
Yeah, I mean,
who do you think's going on this fight, Wilder or Fury?
I mean, that's a good question, man. To be honest with you, there's a lot of people who feel like Fury won that first fight, although Wilder did get it in a decision at the end there. And I don't think Wilder's the kind of guy who's used to going to decisions, going all 12 rounds. And what's crazy to me is how much weight both of these guys have put on for this fight. Fury is up to 273 pounds.
Oh, yeah, he's heavy.
And Deontay Wilder has never been higher than 217, and he's at 231 right now.
Yeah.
So these guys both have put on weight for this fight. So you know they want to knock each other out. Because that's really the real reason you put that weight on, to get that extra behind you when that punch, when that right hand, or when that right hook is coming at you so you can lay the other guy to sleep. But, man, it's hard for me to say. You know, my thing is I think Fury is one of those guys who you like and you want him to win because of his personality. He's got a big personality. I think he's a great guy.
Definitely.
But Deontay Wilder feels like he has this streak that he just wants to kill somebody. And he has this thing in his head that he's going to do that before his boxing career is over with. And I tell you what, I think with Deontay Wilder putting on the weight that he put on, I'm a little nervous about Fury being at 273. So I'm going to give the edge to Deontay Wilder because, you know, when you're fighting and moving around that ring, to me, I know they're both heavyweights, but the one who's a little bit lighter
will probably come out, especially once you start getting past the 7th, 8th round. It's going to be who can carry that weight the best. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give the edge slightly to Wilder.
Well, I know a lot of people have been quoted saying that they feel like Tyson Fury won that fight. A lot of people. And I'm here to tell you right now, they're all wrong. Because my man Deontay Wilder dropped them hammers on Fury a few times, laid him out on the mat. And there's no way in hell today that this fight goes 12 rounds because my man Deontay Wilder's coming in, throwing them things, throwing them haymakers. I think he lays Fury down, lights out for good this time, for real this time. KO, TKO.
He's promising in 2 rounds.
TKO.
2 rounds.
This man said boxing is the only place where you can use your bare hands to kill a man, and he's going to exercise his right to do so. I'm telling you right now.
Brandon Hike, yo.
I'm taking Deontay Wilder. I'm Deontay Wilder.
I'm going to take Tyson Fury. Because he's big. That's a big dude. 270 something, man. He's crazy. And then,
yeah, that dude's my size, man.
Oh, man, this is tough because I have been watching more Deontay Wilder the past couple of days. And like I said, my man don't really, he boxes, but he boxes like he's fighting outside of a nightclub.
Yeah.
Like he throws a lot of overhead, punches, down on you.
It's British style,
He's
man.
a brawler, man.
Wilder.
This is Wilder's a brawler.
Oh, you talking about Wilder?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Fury's a technical guy.
Yeah,
He's got great
box you.
form. He'll box you.
And I think that's been the rumor that he's planning on boxing because I think in the last fight he wasn't
It was a
running
straight
from him.
street fight.
Yeah, they was kind of just going at it.
Yeah, but they said that
He's
Fury
nimble,
didn't.
though. He can move.
They said
Fury's
Fury.
a hard target.
They said Fury didn't train as a boxer this go round. They said he trained more like a fighter than a fighter puncher
He's
than a
going
boxer.
to need to go blow for blow. But I'm telling you, Fury, he's a big target, but he's hard to hit, man. He's really nimble. He dodged a lot of punches that first round. He's extremely light on his feet. He catches a lot of guys off guard.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what, that left hook caught him that last round.
Oh,
fight,
yeah,
though.
and I'm telling you,
I'm trying to think of the last time I saw somebody get floored like that and get up. Because he got up and kept going.
Oh, he's got a chin now.
Yeah, like the Undertaker.
Who do y'all think has the best chin? Has Deontay Wilder's chin ever been tested?
No, I don't think so.
Not to that extent.
I mean,
but nobody has the power he really has right now.
This Fury? I mean, I know he weighs more by 40 pounds, but I mean, Wilder's built like a block of granite.
Well, he played football at the University of Alabama. This dude is the strongest heavyweight in boxing right now.
Wilder?
He's the hardest hitter.
He's that country strong.
Yeah, he's the hardest hitter right now.
I can hear the Alabama in his voice now. You said that. I'm hearing him at the press conference. Like, what part of the deep
that
South
dirty
is this
South
from?
Yeah, that dirty South, man.
Way down there.
Nick Saban disciple.
Yeah. So I don't know who to pick. My heart says. My head says to pick Wilder.
It sounds like you went Fury already.
I know my brain.
Yeah, you can't take that back. You can't take it back.
You've already spoken,
I
sir.
kind of think I'm pretty sure that Fury's gonna pull this off, but I think both of them think it's gonna be quick, unless one of them comes in way under shape more than anybody knew, which I can see maybe Fury because he had to gain all that weight, but he says he's been sparring at that for 2 months, so he should be good to go.
Man, I hope he sparred for a long time, man, because 273,
that's a lot of weight
big
to carry.
boy.
Big body, that's a left tackle on your hands.
Almost King Hippo level.
Yeah, you get hit the right way, your organs gonna shut down.
Oh my God! And like I said, Wilder's that tight. He goes for headshots.
He going for you.
Oh yeah, Fury gonna lure him into one of those and just and get him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
To me, each one of Wilder's shots is like the Mortal Kombat where they go finish him.
Yeah, it's like a brick hitting you, like a cinder block hitting you every time. Cinder block.
So that's tonight. It's on ESPN Plus. I done already told y'all how I'm gonna legally watch this bout. I think Brandon's doing it the legal way.
Yeah, gotta get the fight party, man. Yeah, doing it the right way. Camaraderie and boxing.
I'm hoping I can catch the end of the fight. I've got a big event that I need to go to in Greensboro.
They won't even. They said 9 o'clock. They got like an undercard.
So the fight probably won't. I'm about to say it probably won't start till the earliest 11, 12. So that's probably gonna ruin the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to catch it.
Because the McGregor fight a couple weeks ago, I forgot it was even on. And I was flipping through my Facebook feed, and it was like around 11:15, and popped up. I was like, oh, I forgot it was on. Let me just put the volume down and just watch it. Because me and my wife were binge watching something else. Let me just put the volume down, put it over on the side. And then they came in. The walk-in was longer than the fight. Like McGregor knocked dude out first round, and nobody was expecting it. And I think that's part of the reason why. Because I'm not a UFC fan either. That's part of the reason why I don't really know who's doing what in boxing, because UFC stole so much thunder from.
They did.
I
mean, you get the feet
audience
involved in these, and it's really taking the younger viewers.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the last fight that I bought was the McGregor Mayweather fight.
You bought that?
Yeah, I did buy that fight.
How much was that? Do you remember?
I think I spent $100 on it. Yeah, spent $100
easily.
But I mean, we had a lot. I mean, we had people over though, to watch it. So it was
charging
cool.
10 at the door,
I didn't charge anybody.
Oh, right, you good. I need to come watch it at your spot next time, man, 'cause I'm getting charged tonight, but it's all good. It's
I remember that big cardboard check Floyd Mayweather had like 3 days later for like $300 million or whatever. And it was his cut, because when you're your own promoter, you get that too on top of your purse. And
True.
Man, and I was like, this dumbass
richest
gonna fight
athlete.
again. He's gonna eventually fight again. Just go disappear. he gonna fight again. Well, I don't know if he will now. He's what, 50 now?
Yeah. And I mean,
he should be done.
Richest athlete, he doesn't have anything to prove.
He's gotta be worth $500 million at least.
Yeah, as long as he hasn't spent it all.
Off his last two fights.
Okay.
Because he got like 200 something for the Pacquiao fight, and that fight was garbage to me. Like that was not a good fight.
No, because he fought Pacquiao about 5 years too late.
Yeah, he really did. And then Pacquiao said he was hurt afterwards. And I'm like, man, come on.
And then he was getting his political campaign together and working on his album. So I mean, he was a busy dude, man. He was distracted.
So coming up next is the Sports Carolina Monthly High School Player of the Week. It's the very first week we've ever given this out. We're super impressed with the kid that won the first week. Who is it? Tune in and find out next on The Rundown.
You're listening to The Rundown with Desmond Johnson.
Zesto Burgers and Ice Cream is a modern-day American diner serving burgers, sandwiches, wings, ribs, other quality food, and ice cream since 1945. Located only minutes from East Forsyth at 2600 New Walkertown Road. Every Monday, 35-cent boneless wings, and every Wednesday, 50-cent bone-in wings. 100% fresh, never frozen Angus beef burgers, fried fish, steak, shrimp, chicken platters, and more. Delivery now available through Grubhub, Takeout Central, and DoorDash. Zesto Burgers and Ice Cream, 2600 New Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem.
Should be played at high volume.
Ray's Body Shop and Wrecker Service has served Winston-Salem and surrounding areas for over 50 years. In addition to collision repair, Ray's also performs auto painting and towing. Using only the best quality products and materials, Ray's team of technicians is the best of the best. Family owned and operated, all of their work is guaranteed. When you find yourself in a bind, their 24-hour emergency towing and wrecker service is here to help. Call Ray's Body Shop and Wrecker Service today for a free estimate. 336-788-6174.
The specials never stop at Blue Naples Pizza, an Italian restaurant. Every day you get a large 2-topping pizza for only $11.99. On Sunday, watch football and enjoy our large 1-topping pizza and 10 wings for only $17.99. Plus lunch specials every day of the week. Blue Naples Pizza, an Italian restaurant. 1519 Union Cross Road in Kernersville.
Haviline Express Lube of Kernersville. Their service facility is independently owned and operated by Mac Allen, providing full-service repair and maintenance services. They use the latest diagnostic equipment to guarantee your vehicle is repaired or serviced properly and in a timely fashion. Mac and his team pride themselves in commitment to the local community and providing value-driven service in an inviting, friendly environment. Go see Mac at Haviline Express Lube of Kernersville for all of your automotive maintenance needs.
This is Davis Troxler, the proud owner of North Carolina Golf Academy and the Director of Instruction. Don't let your golf game suffer from this dreary winter season. Come hit some golf balls, take a lesson, play around on our state-of-the-art simulator and our indoor practice facility located just off of Battleground in Greensboro. You can call us at 336-324-2374 for details. Thank you, and keep it in the fairway.
Haviline Express Lube of Kernersville. Their service facility is independently owned and operated by Mac Allen, providing full-service repair and maintenance services. They use the latest diagnostic equipment to guarantee your vehicle is repaired or serviced properly and in a timely fashion. Mac and his team pride themselves in commitment to the local community and providing value-driven service in an inviting, friendly environment. Go see Mac at Haviline Express Lube of Kernersville for all of your automotive maintenance needs.
Back to the Rundown with Desmond Johnson.
The Sports Carolina Monthly High School Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Haviland Express Loop of Kernersville, a family-owned and operated auto repair service in Kernersville, North Carolina, servicing our local community and surrounding areas for 24 years. Visit Mac Allen and his team at 725 Highway 66 South in Kernersville, or call at 336-993-7697. The first Sports Carolina Monthly High School Athlete of the Week is Parkland Junior Kamian Shell. He's a 3-year starter at quarterback for the Mustangs and one of the state's best point guards, currently averaging 22.4 points per game, 5.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.5 steals a game. 5.5 steals.
5.5 steals.
God. So, Brandon got
big defense.
Yeah, man.
Like 2 blocks, too, but, Twitter got that character limit.
Right. But me and Brandon went out to Parkland to talk to him on the eve of the 3A, the Piedmont Tri 3A conference tournament.
Which they won.
Which they did win. They beat Mount Tabor for a third time, and Mount Tabor, I think, was ranked number 1 in 3A in the state or something like that.
I think they're projected to get the 1 seed in the playoff seeds that just got released that I'm seeing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so we'll talk about those in a second, too. So keep those up because there's a couple teams we're tracking here in the area, Mount Tabor, Parkland, Dudley, Smith. There's a couple teams that got a good chance to win a state championship this year, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, let's hear from this week's Sports Carolina Monthly's High School Athlete of the Week, presented by Kernersville Auto Center, Haviland Express Loop on Highway 66 in Kernersville. It's Kamian Shell from Parkland.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney. We're here on the campus of Parkland Magnet High School, and we are making history today. We have the first ever Sports Carolina Monthly High School Athlete of the Week, Kamian Shell, the point guard / quarterback. Kamian, appreciate you being on, man, making history.
Thank you.
So, tell us what's going on right now. You guys just picked up a big win last night. This point in the season, y'all are heading into conference play, getting into the postseason. It's crunch time. I always talk to coach, I feel like y'all play y'all best during the tournament time, man. Just speak on the preparation.
It's just a lot of focus coming in. Just listen to our coaches on the game plan, just following what they got set for us and going out there and winning.
How have you been conducting yourself as a leader? I know the stats don't lie, numbers don't lie, and these guys really count on you on both ends.
It's just going out here because I love my brothers, man. I just want to win and just be a leader, come out every night, in and out, just do what I do.
What would you describe your game like for guys? I know I've seen it. Dez, definitely a true point guard. How would you describe your game to somebody that hadn't seen you play?
I say fast, defense. I'm getting into you. I want all the steals. Scoring, I can score. Just going out there and leading my team to a victory each and every night.
Facts. Kamian now. It's really hard over height with you, man. You've been one of my favorite players to watch, leading your team in rebounds, scoring, assists right now. How have you just become such a well-rounded player?
Just going out there, preparation in the weight room, off season, getting bigger, stronger, faster, because as you can see, I'm short, so they're going to try to bully me. So and getting faster, because I know some people use my first step as a tool. So.
Do you come in with a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, each and every night because I feel like I'm overlooked. So each and every night I just come out there with a chip on my shoulder.
Speak on that being overlooked, man. You're a 2-sport star. You've been really doing this for 3 years now since your freshman year. You've been a name around town. The recruitment is lacking, man. What's going on?
I don't know. Probably height, I guess you could say. But, like you said, numbers don't lie. So it should be rolling in shortly.
What's your mindset going in? What do you need to keep doing?
Getting bigger, stronger, and faster, as you can see, and just being the leaders, because I know that's what coaches want to see.
Now, y'all have played some big-time talent, and y'all are honestly in one of the toughest conferences with Smith. Tabor's no joke. You guys, how has this conference play been?